Earth TV, Unity Earth TV, Unity Earth, oh come on home. Unity Earth TV, Unity Earth TV, Unity Earth, we're coming home.
Hello, friends from around the globe. My name is Irina Morrison, and I welcome you all to World Unity Week March Assembly. This is our first assembly in 2025, which marks the beginning of this year's journey towards World Unity Week and 99 Days of Peace through Unity. So thank you for being here today as we embark on this journey together. With this year's timeless theme, truth, beauty, goodness, we find spiritual regeneration and visionary reform. We embrace these cosmic values as forces of change, shaping our collective evolution. In truth, we embody our collective soul. In beauty, we inspire collective action. In goodness, we build a thriving world for all life. In pursuit of these values, we look into depth of our souls, we become greater in spirit and larger in outlook. So let's kick off March Assembly and the journey towards World Unity Week and 99 Days of Peace through Unity 2025. We have an incredible lineup of speakers for you today. So let's officially open March Assembly with a prayer by Angelica, Cubides.
Thank you very much. It is an honor and a great inspiration to really start this assembly with truth, beauty, and goodness. The truthness of our spirituality reaches the universal heart. That truth that makes us unique and worthy children of God. Through truth, we will manifest that which our hearts and aspirations is inspiring us. I call the universal goodness, the universal truth, the universal beauty of which we are a part, to expand and expand with all our hearts, with all our souls, or with all that it is in us, that precious goodness, to embrace the world with all its beauty. The truth to reaffirm our faith, that truth will set us free. That goodness, that truth, that beauty from our hearts, we expand and connect with all humanity, reclaiming, proclaiming, and affirming that we are here as the cooperators with the universal goodness, truth, and holy faith we call these precious virtues of truth, goodness, and beauty. Let us celebrate the essence of the Holy Spirit in all that we are, in all that we have, in all that we are emanating through our hearts, through our consciousness. May peace prevail and the spirit of this theme for this assembly. May truth prevail. May beauty prevail. And may all that goodness that makes us be ever awakening the blindness of humanity that not yet had been privileged to understand the truth, to bring the greatness that it is emanating from the very spirit of truth, and the beauty. I thank you very, very, very much for this opportunity. May peace prevail on earth. May beauty, truth, and goodness be ever expanding through our beings. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, dear Angelica, for bringing in that beautiful prayer and auspicious beginning to our meeting today and our journey today. We are at the start of a grand pilgrimage up to the solstice, up to June, and all of the events across World Unity Week. Today we're going to be hearing about big, bold visions of Solstice Unites in June, all the way through the 99 days with major commemorative events. It's the 80th anniversary of the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, 80 years since we signed the UN Charter in 1945. This is a big year, and I know everybody can feel it. And so it's a great honor to be gathering here today with the community as we begin this journey together into truth, beauty, goodness, with all of the partners and sponsors and conveners and collaborators and stewards and team. This is a mighty community that has come together across the earth to take this journey together at a time where it is so crucial. It is so pivotal. There is so much at stake. And what better than these transcendental values, these timeless values, as Irina and Angelica have shared, to guide the way through these stormy seas and through these challenging waters that we are in on planet Earth today. So let this be a good beginning, and let us hoist high our sails and follow the beacons that are guiding us forward. This is a year to make great momentum. You'll be hearing about major plans for later in 2025 from Jim Garrison and others as well. And as we gather today, let's be open to what inspiration may come, and let's be open to what creativity may flow as we go forward together as one global family, deeper into this moment of transformation. We have everything we need. We have the technology, we have the teams, the commitment, the energy, the inspiration, the guidance, the wisdom in abundance. We have everything we need in abundance. So it's a great honor to be gathering here with you today to embark upon this odyssey we take together and this journey we take together, to speak into 2025 as a year of promise and prophecy. It's my honor to bring forward Maver from the Global Silent Minute. And we have arrived. We're here. It's the end of March and we're in 2025, and everything is lining up in such powerful ways while the chaos is beating at our doors. But there is a stillness inside here, which is guiding the light for us the way forward. And thank you for being with us, Maver, to speak into that today.
Thank you so much, Ben, and everyone. And what a beautiful prayer. Truth, beauty, goodness. Yes, these are considered transcendentals, cosmic values, from the Latin transcendere, meaning to exceed. They're properties of being, and they've been part of humanity's philosophy and reflection from medieval times. Aquinas, Plato, Augustine, Aristotle, and in fact, it was Plato who said, "Beauty will save the world." There are so many things, as you refer to, Ben, that could be said about this chaotic and destructive time we are living through on the planet. And yet, we know we are in the great turning, the evolutionary change of the ages from Pisces to Aquarius. And we know that the old operating system must break down. We must let go of it or transform it. We face an opportunity to consciously and intentionally stand in the rhythmic flow of cosmos as our beloved Mother Earth realizes her sacredness, as every atom of consciousness is impacted and influenced by this realization, as truth, beauty, and goodness call forth a renaissance. As humanity, realizes its shared responsibility as planetary stewards. In Agni Yoga, we are encouraged to see beyond our personal agendas, to look up at the night sky and say, "Hail, brothers." Certainly, there is ample support in the sky at this time, with Neptune and Saturn moving into Aries, heralding new beginnings, new vision, a dissolution of forms that no longer serve, and Pluto now in Aquarius, demanding that truth be revealed as we stand in the new era of Aquarius, in which group consciousness and humanitarian attitudes will ultimately prevail. And more. It's a time for everyone, supported by the forces of light, to live in right relationship with self, others, and all of life, to realize peace as a way of life. We as individuals and as a Unity Earth community stand at a crossroads. How will we think, speak, and take action as the journey continues? World Unity Week provides a powerful platform. Our attitude matters. We are co-creators, and energy follows thought. So we can take action in many ways. Yet every time we agree in thought and emotions and actions with what we don't like, we throw a log on that fire of what we don't want. As is said, it's better to light a candle than curse the darkness. So we are the builders of the new world. We are solutionaries. We are the light bearers. And we know the truth, that love is the great healing and building agent in life, and that goodwill is love in action. So as we move through this high point of the spiritual year and approach World Unity Week 2025, may we stand together in the fire of love, knowing that nothing is ever what it seems to be, and trusting the great flow of life and love throughout the cosmos as we unite our hearts across distance, both sides of the veil, and demonstrate a way through from chaos to beauty. All is well in spite of outer seeming. May peace prevail on earth.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Dot, for those words of life as we begin this embarkation together. And thank you for that promise fulfilled of our opportunity and our invitation right now to get ready for the year of our lives with everything that is upon us. And how exciting. It is a year of great transformation and great moment. And you've spoken so beautifully into all of that. Thank you, Dot Maver. Thank you for sharing that with us. I want to now introduce another incredible global transformational leader, the amazing Laura Rose from Purpose Earth and the Hollow Movement and Unity Earth. And Laura, you wear so many hats, Green Heart, and you've been such a great light, so strongly shining, particularly the last 5 years with the emergence of Purpose Earth and the hundreds of communities that have been blessed around the world by the mentorship, by the support and the vision of that incredible program. You and Emmanuel, your husband, Kunselman, are the primary drivers of the Hollow Movement, which is growing from strength to strength. And there is a wave coming in North Carolina coming up at the end of May, which we'll be hearing about. But Laura, thank you so much. Welcome to the Assembly. It's great to see you.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you for your very kind introduction. Dot, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here as a part of this extraordinary community. And, you know, what we're talking about today are the 3 timeless values that have the power to transform: truth, goodness, and beauty. These are values that are not just about how to move forward in day-to-day life, but how to transcend to something much greater than ourselves. And truth is the foundation of trust. And when we operate with transparency and honesty, we're building trust with our communities, with our partners, and our stakeholders. And at Purpose Earth, truth means being honest about the problems we're trying to solve and the impact of our efforts. It means being transparent about our funding, about our methods, and about our outcomes. And all of your generosity has helped us to do such extraordinary things. The goodness that is coming about from the compassion and empathy and kindness that all of you is showing is felt every day around the globe. And I want to focus just for a minute on one of our grant recipients, the Chimambuga project that's in Zimbabwe, which is providing light to children in rural communities that have no ability to, without electricity, to study after dark. These are kids that are living in areas where there is no infrastructure. And yet an extraordinary young man has created this beautiful, beautiful light bulb that comes, a lamp that comes from all recycled plastics and from recycled tools, and is teaching kids not only to use the lights, but to how to make them. And this is just one example of the extraordinary things that we can do when the funding that is meant to be shared, and the resources that are meant to be shared with everyone are truly done so and go directly to the source. It creates a sense of beauty, of creativity and joy, and it enables us to be a part of something so great that unites us all in truth. So I just want to say that our collection here of beautiful people today is making it possible for us to continue the good work of Purpose Earth. And we're also carrying forward the joy and the excitement of what our potential is through the event that we're organizing as sort of the kickoff of the 90 days. Starting on May 23rd in Asheville, we will be gathered together to celebrate with dance, with music, with incredible scientists, artists, celebratory beings from all over the planet. And it's filling at a beautiful pace. Many of you were there last year at the Wave in Ibiza. This one, I think, promises to be even deeper and even more connected, where we all find a true purpose in our gathering. And I'm so excited that the evolutionary leaders will be there. Deborah will be joining us, Juan Carlos Caitan, Barbara Layton, so many of our good friends. And I hope that the rest of you will join too. We want to make it possible to the best of our ability to have all of you come and for it to be a celebration of joy and just the honor that exists in being able to collaborate on this new level of trust that goes above governments, goes above business, goes above all of the bureaucracy that sometimes holds us back, and enables us to just say yes to our highest selves. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you, Laura. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all you give and steward over these years. And yes, the Hollow Movement Wave in Asheville, North Carolina, coming up in late May. It's amazing. I've had the good fortune of being at the last two, one in Sedona and one in Ibiza, and they are transformational events on a personal level, also in a collective vocational way. Get there if you can. Do what you can to be there in North Carolina at the Hollow Movement Wave. Laura, we love you. Thank you for all your love and support. And thank you for being with us, as I know you're in transit as well, transitioning between continents. Thank you for those beautiful sharings and messages, Laura Rose. I want to bring forward now another amazing global transformational leader in her own right, doing extraordinary work through her platform and blessing many others to do incredible work around the world. It's Olivia Hansen from the Spiritual Life TV channel. Olivia does incredible work over many decades and been working with Dot and Fumi for so many years and doing extraordinary things, really bringing more light. And I loved Laura's example of the light bulb and the very practical example there as we talk about truth, beauty, and goodness and the metaphors of light. But you certainly are a powerful beacon of light, Olivia Hansen, and we thank you for all your support for all this community. And we look forward to hearing your sharing today, Olivia.
Thank you so much, Ben. And it's wonderful to be in the company of all these wonderful other beacons of light. And that's the beauty of all this Unity Earth initiative. When I think of truth, beauty, and goodness, well, okay, today we're seeing in our outer world a lot of versions of truth, depending upon wherever people get their information. And there's some essential truths like love thy neighbor as thyself, which is found in all the major religions. So there's this shared common truth as well. And then with beauty, there are so many expressions of beauty. Truly the saying, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, is quite true. And so we have music and dance and poetry and art of all kinds expressing this wide variety of beauty. And that is tying into this theme of unity in diversity, because that is what we're all about. There is so much diversity in our world. We know that. But one of the things that we share in our one human family is that we all have this spark of divinity within us. So we all have this spark for the potential of goodness, which is our third quality in our theme. And this is this essential goodness. And so we, as the Dalai Lama says, we're all the same. Well, we are all the same. The only difference is in our development of that inner quality and that heart quality of love and kindness and joy. And so what I see in this unity and diversity is that there are people that care. The average person might care just about themselves or their family or their tribe or their community. But as we grow and develop, that caring and that goodness starts to expand, and we start caring about more and more people, more and more things, more and more, until our caring encompasses everyone in the world. And so when we want to create a better world, it isn't just for ourselves, but it is indeed for everyone. In fact, we get our joy and our happiness when we see other people having a good life, and we want to take that out into the world further and further. That is what touches me about Unity Earth, because I find so many coworkers here that share this same vision, that share this same hope, and that are doing work and all kinds of initiatives in their own way of expanding this idea of oneness. And it is such a beautiful theme. I just want to mention that pretty soon I'll have many cute little 90-second Oneness of Humanity micro short films to share from the Illuminate Film Festival on the theme of love, kindness, and joy. And we want to get this out not only in the normal way of distribution, but out into social media, so that we don't even know who we'll touch and reach in our 8 billion brothers and sisters human family. But these are the things that touch our heart and inspire us and make us realize that we're all the same, that we do have this unity in diversity. And I think we always have to look for that unity of how we are all the same. So thank you, everyone here. Thank you, Ben, for leading the initiative, but it brings us all together in the joy of love and kindness and oneness. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you, Olivia. Thank you for those beautiful words and sharing that. The Illuminate Film Festival is coming up. The short film festival that you're sponsoring is beautiful. Can't wait to see all those 90-second clips. And thank you for sharing that message of connection and compassion. And who would have thought that compassion and empathy would be subversive? Now we are coming together to double down on empathy and to go all in on compassion, and that's really what's calling us this year. So thank you, Olivia, for sharing those beautiful words of life as we begin this journey up to day 1, to Solstice Unites, to June 21, and do all that's calling us across the 99 days. Let's continue to go all in for love. And we appreciate you shining the way in your leadership, Olivia Hansen. We are very honored to have our next speaker with us as well, coming to join us. Humanity Rising, we were talking the other day, Jim Garrison was initiated around the same time that World Unity Week was a twinkle in a collective eye, and it was really about that same time. And over the last 5 years, through Humanity Rising, you have covered the length and breadth and depth of human experience, and now getting ready for something to transcend in a quantum leap into 2025. Jim, I know you've got big plans and big message for us here in 2025, but it's an honor to have Jim Garrison here with us. Welcome to the Assembly, and we're very much looking forward to hearing what you've got to share, Jim.
Thank you so much, Ben. I always so admire the enthusiasm and the aspirational quality of your events. And I want to really thank you for profiling truth, beauty, and goodness. That was the foundational principle of Ubiquity University that we founded 20 years ago. We called it Explore, Equip, and Engage. And the one thing that I would say we have learned about these three essential virtues is that they are the virtues that we need to be able to discern the opportunities in the crises that beset us. Because crises instill contraction, anxiety, fear. But if you're embracing truth, beauty, and goodness, the fear never takes hold because you see the opportunities in the crises, and that becomes a motivating force. One of the things that we are now working on in this spirit is a reconfiguration of the State of the World Forum. I had the great privilege back in the 1990s, beginning in late 1991, when I first met Mikhail Gorbachev, all the way through to 9/11, when our experience together was brought to a close, to interact with this very great man and a coterie of co-chairs to convene what we call the State of the World Forum between 1995 and the year 2000, that brought together more diversity at more levels than had been convened in the world at that time. It was an extraordinary and transformational event. Lynn Twist, who was the co-moderator with me of the forums, contacted me last October and said, Jim, I've had a message from the beyond, and it is time to reconvene the forum once again, because the year 2025 to 2030 is equally as potentiated as the years of 1995 to 2000, which was the end of the Cold War and the possibility of a peace dividend. And so that message, I hadn't thought about doing that, but as soon as she uttered the words, I knew that she was correct. And the one new ingredient that we will be bringing into our deliberations is the fact that there's an extraordinary equipoise in the world right now. We're confronted on the one hand with a multiplicity of code red issues: climate change, artificial intelligence, population, devastation of democratic rights around the world, etc. We all know those. Simultaneously has come the reality that extraterrestrial beings have been in the world and establishing ongoing contact with humanity since the beginning of the atomic age back in 1945, warning humanity to stop the nuclear weapons, stop the despoilation of the earth, and engage in transformation. The State of the World Forum, which will be convened in Washington, D.C. in December at the Omni Shoreham Hotel, will mark the first time that code red issues confronting humanity and the reality that we are not alone, that extraterrestrials have been here for some time, and they have come here for a reason, at the core of which is to enable humanity to upgrade its consciousness at this moment. So we escape from Einstein's box, shall we call it, that the consciousness that produced the problem can't solve the problem, but with the new reality of extraterrestrial beings, we have an opportunity now to learn the language of consciousness, mental telepathy, clairvoyance of all kinds that will enable us to begin to look at our problems with fresh consciousness. So that's what we're up to. We're very excited. You and I have been in conversation. We hope that Unity Earth and the State of the World Forum can join in some way. And I hope that all of you will join.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. I know it's not easy to condense such a big calling that goes back 30 years and is so all-encompassing into a short period of time. But we really, really appreciate you coming there and sharing that. And people, we can feel the excitement and the idea of going to a higher level, a higher state of consciousness through any means appropriate and necessary and good, including those ones of being open to extraterrestrial contact and all the other ways that we elevate and deepen consciousness. To bring that to the State of the World Forum, I just think is a brilliant strategy and theory of change. So we're all right with you, and whatever we can do to support that. The world needs it. We said it before today started. If the world ever needed a State of the World Forum, it's right now. December might be too far away. We might have to do it in precursor in World Unity Week. But thank you, Brother Jim, for being with us and sharing that, and blessings on this big vision. It is time to go big, and I think that's one of the themes that we've got really in this meeting and in this journey as we gather. You'll be hearing a lot more. I want to acknowledge Chief Dwayne Perry, who's here, Brother Mindahi as well, who's joined us, just to acknowledge the great wisdom keepers that are here among us as well, including our next speaker. And in terms of going big, it doesn't get much bigger than the cosmos. And then our next speaker is truly a cosmic thinker. The Radical Guide, A Radical Guide to Reality, is a film that if you haven't seen it, go and find it and watch it as soon as you can. It's absolutely brilliant, incredible production values, and an amazing message narrated by the one and only Dr. Jude Currivan. And it's an honor, Jude, that you stayed up late to be with us. We can't tell you how much we appreciate that, but it's so delightful. We caught up a couple of days ago, and just mind-blowing the amount of activities and enterprises and platforms that you are connecting and weaving and seeding and nurturing and stewarding. It's amazing. So it's wonderful to have you here with us, and deep gratitude for coming to the assembly today.
Well, thank you, Ben, and thank you, everyone. It's my joy to be here. It was really, I'm remembering as we're together, and Jim too, back in sort of May of 2020, when we three, I think, in different conversations, were talking about the beginning of World Unity Week and also the beginning of Humanity Rising. And when Ben asked me about what I thought about World Unity Week, of course it was yes, and this is a wonderful marker on this journey of remembering, as Olivia said, that we truly are, unity and diversity. And as Jim has just said, the diversity is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and more radical. But I remember when Ben talked about World Unity Week, and he said, well, it's 8 days. And I went, well, a week's 7 days. And this is 8 days. And the thing that came immediately to mind as a Brit was the Beatles song, 8 Days a Week. And I just looked it up. And I think in a way, it's light, it's fun, but it says something about love that joins us all in our inherent unity and diversity. And the first verse says, oh, I need your love, babe. Guess you know it's true. Hope you need my love, babe, just like I need you. Hold me, love me. Hold me, love me. Ain't got nothing but love, babe. 8 days a week. And I feel that in a way that brings us all together, because it is the love that we have for each other that's continued this journey over these years. And originally, while World Unity Week began as an event, it now has linked up and lifted up with so many more, all as markers on this journey to a remembered wholeness, a remembering of who we really are and who we can consciously evolve to become. And the Buddha said, and Olivia, thank you for the beautiful words of the Buddha and of the Dalai Lama. The Buddha said that we're not on the path until we become the path. And I feel that through World Unity Week and all the other events and golden threads that have joined us over these last 5 and 6 years and ongoing, that we are now the path. We embody the path. And because we've become the path, as Angelica said, we've really brought the knowingness of the wholeness and the divine love that underpins us and supports us in the path into our hearts, into the universal heart that connects us all. So this year's, these themes of truth and beauty and goodness are our ongoing compass. We may next year and beyond have other words that resonate with that divine love that connects us all. But for this year, these are indeed the transcendental and yet intimate and personal and community compasses and way showers for our way forward together. So as Ben said, A Radical Guide to Reality, a short film, is free to share, free to use. But again, it's an invitation. It's an invitation that brings us all into the community of the universal heart. And that's what World Unity Week is. And that's the path that we're on together and we embody together. So thank you, Ben, and thank you, everyone, for being companions on this incredible journey.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, dear Jude. You brought so much joy and lightness and brightness and brilliance through your sharing just now. And thank you for the journey, the fellowship, and the deep partnership. It goes beyond words, and we walk together and weave together. And it's a great joy and honor to be with you, and just deep bows to you and everything that you are weaving together with the Unity community and the whole world view. It's extraordinary. This is a big year in many ways. There are major events, the one in Iceland with the Spirit Conference, and working with the Prime Minister of Iceland and yourself, Jude. There's a lot of really amazing stuff happening. So I'd encourage people to stay tuned to see everything that Jude is connected to. Thank you for bringing in the Beatles. I think Lyla, June got back at you in the chat with a "Hey Jude." So yes, the Beatles are here with us, and real honor. Thank you, Jude, for having you with us. Speaking of Lyla, it's amazing to have Lyla with us here. An extraordinary leader that's gone from strength to strength in her arts and her academic pursuits, and somebody that really is an incredible leading light on the planet and doing so much and so brilliant stuff in the field of Indigenous food management, and in which Lyla did a PhD. She's also a hip hop star and a musician and an artist and a community leader, and speaks at university campuses all over the United States and around the world. Certainly a voice for our times, and it's been a tremendous privilege to be on the journey with Lyla June these last years in different events. Lyla, from Ethiopia to the United Palace in New York, and so many other different places in between, and we're just following along your incredible journey, Lyla, and continuing to lead and inspire. Thank you for being with us here today, sister. We're looking forward to hearing your reflections as we begin this season into truth, beauty, goodness, at a time when these values are so desperately needed in so many places and communities.
Thank you for having me, Ben, and everybody. Well, I think the first thing I want to say is thank you for having me here, and I love you all, and my prayers are with you all. And I wanted to speak on this theme of goodness, and I'm just so grateful that you placed goodness squarely as like your theme. because I think indigenous societies worked very hard to make a place for goodness and to institutionalize goodness and to normalize goodness within our societies, either through ceremonies that taught people how to have the right value systems, or um, coming of age ceremonies that inculcated these values in the people as they came of age. Of course, by modeling it, um, honoring the elders, but also through really creating societies where our coyote stories would help us learn what not to do. And those coyote stories were part of our way of teaching and learning. And it was through our coyote stories that we did not make a place for coyote, which is a symbol of, I guess, um, just the stuff you're not supposed to do in life, like stealing, cheating, lying, etc. Things that are selfish, things that are ignorant, things that are foolish. And so Coyote was always making a fool of himself in these stories. And these are ancient stories, way older than the Looney Tunes, and and those ancient stories would teach us how to live. And now we're in a world where sadly people are actively not only creating space for Coyote to thrive in our midst, but actually glorifying it and celebrating selfishness, institutionalizing selfishness, rationalizing selfishness. I mean, that's what Western economics is based on, is this idea that selfishness is good for the economy. That's literally baked into Adam Smith's whole theory of the wealth of nations, and his other assumption is that there's not enough for everyone. And so scarcity and self-interest are the two institutionalized assumptions within modern economics. And like that's our story, right? That's our Coyote story. Is like Coyote is good. Coyote is what makes everything go round. And so we not only don't work to push out Coyote, we actively invite Coyote and make a place for Coyote in our civilizations today. And so by saying goodness is our value, which, like you said, Ben, should be a no-brainer, but it's become this fringe idea. Or not really fringe, but like it's a forgotten idea. Sometimes we forget that, like, yeah, that really is the core of everything that matters. And so I think your event today is really refreshing as a Native person in what we now call America. Many of you have seen the headlines of what we're going through, where 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 hatred is being institutionalized at a very rapid rate. And as silly as it may seem, just speaking the word goodness into the air and putting it on a flyer, it like heals me, because like it just reminds me that there's still good people in the world, and that like we still have a message to give, and we don't have to drown it out. And so I think it's just really healing, Ben, and to put goodness as a, it's almost like putting your flag in the ground almost, but not in a way to conquer a land, but in a way to state your intentions to love a land. And like that's very healing right now, because goodness should and is the norm, or should be and is the norm. And people are trying to make us forget that right now. And so I just encourage everyone to continue shouting from the rooftops that goodness is our goal, goodness is our method, goodness is our strategy, and goodness is both our goal and our methodology. And excited to be a part of that. So there's a lot more I could say, but I'll just stop there. And I'm sending lots of love to everyone, and thank you for like lighting a little light in the dark right now, because we need it.
Oh, thank you, Lyla, June. Profound reflections, and everyone can feel the depth of your sharing, your blessing, and your sincerity in this. And I just want to thank you for that, because it's taken it to a to a deeper place. We're really clear that we don't just want to wave a flag or say the words, but these three transcendentals are calling us to embody them. And that's an ongoing daily challenge and practice. You know, it's not just something you click your fingers and then you become, transformed. It's an ongoing practice, and it's a call towards goodness and truth and beauty. And thank you for really making it real and bringing that level of reality. We love you, sister. The Hollow Movement, I'm not sure if that's the right tag for you, but maybe there's a reason why it says the Hollow Movement. Perhaps we'll get you connected into what's transpiring there in North Carolina. But Lyla, thank you for being with us, and it's great to know that your light shining bright and is really remaining a beacon for so many communities, Indigenous, women, youth, so many different communities that you touch and that you lead. For sharing. So we are now going to go to the next speaker, which is, I said earlier, this is a big year, and for a number of reasons it's a big year, not least of which it's the 80th anniversary of everything that happened in 1945. You know, it amazes me that the UN Charter was signed in June 26. What's that, like 6 weeks before the atomic bombs were dropped? Seems to be a perverse kind of order of affairs. But I know Fumi is with us, and together with Becky, there are major events. A bunch of us were in Hiroshima last September, which changed and transformed us. That experience of being there by the river, the Mota River, and with the community, may peace prevail on earth, with the prayers and the healing. Something happened then that day for me, both also at Fields of Healing up in Mount Fuji and then down to Hiroshima. But we're really getting ready for major commemorative events in 2025. So wonderful to have you with us, Fumi. Much love to you. May peace prevail on earth. And we're looking forward to hearing your reflections today. You are muted. You should be able to unmute. Not sure why we can't hear you, Fumi. Sorry.
Oh,
There you go.
there you go. May peace prevail on earth, everyone. And thank you, Ben, for bringing us together in unity. And just such warm greetings to all of you. It's so good to see you all. So as Ben mentioned, it's a pivotal year as far as anniversaries go, 80th anniversary especially. It's the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz and the concentration camps in Europe. It's also the 80th anniversary of the liberation of the Japanese internment camps here in the United States. There were 10 of them across the country. And of course, we have the end of World War II and D-Day, and I think Ben mentioned the United Nations. So, but personally for me, because I grew up in post-war Japan, it's the 80th anniversary of the atomic bomb that was dropped on the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki that really pulls at my heart. You're all familiar with May Peace Prevail on Earth. It was authored and founded by a Japanese visionary called Masahisa Goi, who said after the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki that Japan has a very important mission to send a huge, big message of peace, reconciliation, healing out to the world. And that message, after meditation, he received the message, may peace prevail on earth. And I love this message. I'm committed to spread this message for so many years, as all of you are. So thank you so much for that. And what's also auspicious is that Masahisa Goi actually used these, he said there's 3 principles that are important to usher in the culture of peace, and that was Shin, Sem, Bi. And Ben, it's exactly the theme of this gathering today. It's truth, goodness, and beauty. So it's just auspicious how we just dovetail, and the energy is just, combines and grows and is sent out to the world. So it's just beautiful to know that. So last September, many of us were in Japan together for Land of the Rising Sun. We went to, we had the Tokyo Convergence, the beautiful Fuji ceremonies, and we ended up in Hiroshima. We all walked on the land of Ground Zero there in front of the atomic bomb dome. And we had this incredible ceremony that I'm sure we all felt that it was opening a portal of healing. It was all about that reconciliation, healing, compassion, all coming together, really truth, goodness, and beauty coming all together. So I thought this year for August, because it's such a huge anniversary, it would be so amazing if we could come together, all of us, or as many as you can, who were there present. Hello? Can you hear me? Ben,
Yes,
can
we
you?
can hear you. We can
Yes.
hear you.
So if we could come together in a program, all of us or many of us who attended that beautiful healing ceremony in front of the atomic bomb dome, and invite our Unity Earth community, all of you to gather in really celebrating, honoring, and this anniversary, and uplifting so many people through our prayers and our offerings on that day. I know that Monica is planning something for Nuclear Prayer Day. There are many things happening in August. So we really look forward to that. And next week, Becky and I are heading to New York to attend the Season of Nonviolence program. And I'm just reminded of Dr. King's quote that says, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." So let's all bring our hearts together in the spirit of love and light, especially this August, so that we could move forward to a world without nuclear weapons. And Ben, if we have a minute still left, I'd like to do the Divine Spark In and invite all the people who were there at Fuji to perform it together to close the presentation.
All
Would
right.
that be okay? Let's do it. All right. The Divine Sparking Mudra for the awakening of all humanity, calling forth for the awakening of all humanity. Okay. The divinity of humanity is reawakened. Daijouju. Hai. May peace prevail on earth. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Fumi, and thank you to all our beautiful partners at Goi Peace Foundation. Thank you, incredible, amazing, powerful. And this year, when we were there at Fuji Sanctuary, Mrs. Sayonji was telling us how big 2025 was going to be and calling us back for those who want to go back. And Brian and others are figuring out how to get back there. And there's a lot of different exciting things. Thank you, Fumi. Thank you for being with us and bringing those divine essences in to our meeting today. Someone else who was there right across Peace Week in 2024 was the extraordinary Kristin Hoffmann. And I think most of us realize, or at least have some sense of how fortunate and blessed we are to be journeying with you, Kristin, and your amazing gifts, musical, and just so many talents and geniuses that you give in service to this rising consciousness of our time. You embody not just the divine feminine, but really the sacred servant of all that is true, beautiful, and good, and bringing your amazing gifts to support the community to rise together collectively. Honored to have you with us, sister. Thank you for all the blessings. And it's a big year. I know there's a lot of exciting things coming up, and we look forward to everything you're going to share with us today.
Oh, thank you. And what a perfect feeling to relive the divine sparking. Thank you, Fumi. It brought me right back to the fields of healing, Mount Fuji. Ah, truth, beauty, goodness. What a blessing for us to be grounding in and invoking, living into these principles of our beingness. And to really call in this beginning of the Satya Yuga, the era of truth. I am going to sing into a Solom space to really call in the eternal, universal truth of our beingness, the love, the light, the extraordinary, vast expression of our humanity.
your light.
Thank you, Kristin. Thank you, Kristin, for bringing us that experience of truth, beauty, and goodness. Thank you so much, Joy, for dancing it. Wow, what can you say? Kristin, what would you like to say?
Oh, I feel like no words are better, but just love, love, love. Summer Joy, what a beautiful gift to weave together in that way again. Thank you for whoever made that possible and saw that. Such a gift. And I love you, Ben. Thank you for holding us through these doorways, this truth, beauty, and goodness. Truly important principles for us to really bring forward and call forward together at this time. Thank you. Blessings to all.
Wonderful. What an abundance of beauty, truth, and goodness. What a blessing and an abundance we have, an abundance of all that we need. Thank you, Kristin, for showing up and for being here and for blessing us all and blessing this journey that is before us. And there's 80 days that's left of the solstice. And we're going to hear in a moment from the team at Solstice Unites, which is super exciting. We had the big vision that Jim and Jude and Laura and others have been sharing about later this year. And now we're going to hear about Chief Perry's vision, supported by Harry Uvegi, John Raymer, Anna Marie Verhoeven, of course. And just as we get into this story, I also want to take a moment to acknowledge Patricia and Davis, who we'll be hearing from soon. And it was really Patricia who gifted us with truth, beauty, goodness as a seed that then blossomed and bloomed. So we are so richly blessed. But this vision of For Solstice Unites, Chief Perry, it's an honor to have you here with us, and Harry and John and with Anna Marie. This is a dream team that's pulling together something that is big and bold and audacious. So Chief Perry, let's start with you and tell us your vision for this powwow, this global event.
Well, initially, I think what we just heard was the vision to all powwows. But going forward, the thought is that if we can share, one of the things that's allowed us to sort of be in some form of perhaps confrontation is that we've never been visible. We've never really spoken out. We keep our goodness within our own shells. And I think this is going to provide an opportunity for us to globally to literally say, everyone has value, everyone is beautiful, and everyone is needed as we go forward up on this Turtle Island. And I think that message itself is going to be so radically different and shared by so many that it's going to allow for that freedom to literally expand beyond our own borders. And I think a lot of the things you've heard today, we're talking, those are all part of the beautiful cosmos that we're hoping to put together to expand into the rest of this Turtle Island. And like I said, it's very hard to follow on after all these beautiful songs and all these wonderful thoughts. But what we really need is each and every one of us to remember just one moment of kindness to anyone expands the entire universe to everyone. Let me just ask there that all of us remember, act upon kindness, and walk forward in a real good way, because now literally, and I believe globally, it's our time to really share who we've really been all these years and sort of tamping down a little bit. It's hard to tamp down that kind of beauty if you're sitting where I'm sitting here, ladies. So let me thank you, and I apologize. I don't have all these wonderful words that so many of you do, but I'm sort of sitting here amazed by just the glory of everything. So peace and many blessings to everyone. And maybe the last thought would be, hold in mind that we are children of the water, the air, and the earth, and we are related to all those things thereof. And as that, we are one, and in heaven and in kindness we shall prosper. Nishi, 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 ungo mati. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Chief Perry. Thank you for being with us and your prayer and your vision. And I know John and Harry have grasped your amazing vision of the global powwow on the solstice and taken great strides towards manifesting it on the great lawn of Central Park, 750th anniversary of Amsterdam, it's the 400th anniversary of New York. John, Harry, tell us a little bit about this scope and scale of what's coming for June 21.
Well, it is such an honor to serve this way, to have Chief Perry, my own personal life being a New Yorker, but then the vision that Harry has for Manhattan. This is weaving everything, Ben, that we've done together. It was due to you that I got to meet Chief Perry. So what we're doing here is together like we never have before. It is way, it's so perfect that you'd honor Patricia that way, because that's how we got to the theme this year. As I told you, Patricia said to me for 20 years, she'll use that phrase, John, it's just what's good, beautiful, and true. So honoring the indigenous voices and the wisdom to help us restore balance on this planet. And that this is coming as a gift from the indigenous people. That's what Solstice Unites is. We're aligning in such a way to make that gift possible. And the irony of the place, the history of that soil, the idea that it could be owned and sold from the people who never thought that way. And the consequences of what happened with the Dutch and what happened in New Amsterdam is profound. And it offers hope for a reframe. That's what Brand Earth is about. And that's why the genius of Harry Uvegi, who stood up to say, what about the money here? If we're really going to be adults about this, we need to get to the root cause of why we're so out of balance. So the vision that Harry has, I want him to share that because it connects with indigenous voices and it connects with the current system that keeps us entrenched and out of balance. I honor you, Brother Harry. You've made such a difference for so many people.
I'd like to add just one thought, John, before Harry.
Yeah.
The entire thing about the powwow is we're asking everyone to please come and be who you would be on your grandmother's knee 500 years ago. Don't come as somebody special. Come as that beautiful indigenous person you'd have been walking out of some mountainside in Eastern Europe or wherever. Please come and be yourself. And I think what we're saying is all of us have value. Please let us honor and appreciate that in a real good way. Thank you.
I am honored to be here with Chief Perry and John, and I'd like to take a few minutes just for me to express something that I feel needs to be said. Each revolution around the sun, equinox to solstice to equinox to solstice, is a sacred love story. Earth's soul spiraling through the Milky Way in a cosmic dance of light, rhythm, and grace. At unimaginable speeds, our beloved planet tilts, turns, and transforms, whispering ancient truths through every shift of season. And with this celestial choreography, we, souls made flesh, are tenderly invited to embody the human vessel for a short yet wondrous time. From soul to human and human to soul, we journey across the living field of time, called by love itself to feel, to awaken, to remember. This is not merely existence, it is a gift of presence, a joyful becoming, where each breath expands our capacity to love, to heal, and to mirror the miracle of the earth beneath our feet. And in this sacred mirror, we gather, hearts open, feet grounded, on the great lawn of Central Park, where the pulse of the earth meets the pulse of humanity. On June 21st, 2025, under the radiant light of the summer solstice, we are blessed with the opportunity to come together in a sacred global powwow, a living prayer born of reverence and renewal. This ceremony, offered through the profound generosity of the Lamapo Munsee Lenape Nation and held in loving leadership of Brother Chief Dwayne Perry, is more than an event. It is a healing, a remembrance, a return to the original covenant between soul and soil, between sky and skin, between all our relations. It is a moment when the earth breathes through us, when love moves as a song, as dance, as the ancient beat of the drum echoing the first heartbeat of creation. And so we offer this prayer with hearts full and spirits wide open for the sacred gifts of the powwow on June 21st, 2025. May the great lawn hold us gently as we gather in reverence, and may every footstep awaken a deeper memory of belonging. May the drumbeat be a lifeline back to source, calling each soul home. May the sacred traditions of Ramapomansi Lenape Nation be honored, uplifted, and received with humble gratitude. May Brother Chief Dwayne Perry's wisdom guide us as a light in these times, a reminder of our sacred duty to walk in beauty, to speak with truth, to live with love. May the sky bless us, the waters cleanse us, the winds carry our prayers, and the fire within our hearts ignite a new way forward, together, in unity, in ceremony, in peace. May this solstice gathering be a circle of healing for all beings, a radiant bloom of the earth's promise fulfilled through us, the ones who remember, the ones who choose to love. Aho, amen. May it be so.
Oh, amen. May it be so. Harry, thank you for that heartfelt prayer for Solstice Unites, for Chief Perry's leadership, for all that's unfolding. It's beautiful. And it's so amazing to see the scale and we talked about the audacity of doing something that links the world to Amsterdam, New York, Los Angeles, and anywhere else that's coming together to participate in this. John, did you have a final word about this is coming in? I think you've got a calendar counting down. What are we, 81 days away or something like that? Final word from you, John Raymer.
Well, it's here right now. And this is for all of us. This is the call to all of us. And to unite humanity, to restore Mother Earth, well, Solstice unites. We need to get back to the real core. So I want everyone to get engaged. One World is a platform. And we're going to show you in a little bit of time here how you can actually make this meaningful and take this incredible turning point that we're at and turn it into the good, the beautiful, and the true that we so desperately need to see and be together. So I'm looking forward to that, Ben. I'm assuming we're going to play the little Mentimeter here, right? We're going to start to use the capabilities that are now born here. Having Jim talk about the alien intelligence, talk about the creative intelligence, the artificial intelligence. We need to bring all the intelligence possible to make this transition together. So
we're going to do that in a few minutes, John. Absolutely. We're going to engage, get in the engagement room. Thank you, John Raymer. Thank you, Harry. And thank you, Chief Perry, for the big, bold vision.
And Patricia, you know, Patricia's voice, and she's right key to that powwow that we're doing. And he has a deep connection with Chief Perry that goes back. We didn't bring her onto the screen here, but my God.
She's coming up. She's coming up.
Yeah.
She's coming up. We've got Kurt, John, Marty, and then Kurt, and then Patricia, and then we're into it. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. This is a big, you can feel it. It's a big year. And these big plays right the way across, all the way from, you know, the solstice through the 99 days up to big events. We know that October's going to have big events, and then right into December, as Jim was sharing earlier. So super exciting and inspiring to see. And you heard earlier from Fumi about the August events. We also have Marty K. Casey here, and it's another opportunity to do something. There is something in the wind here, Marty, which is coming forth for St. Louis. We know on August the 6th, we're going to have major events for Hiroshima, and we've had Monica here and Fumi talking about that, and we're all going to be there and showing up for that. But then on August the 9th in St. Louis, there is an opportunity to do something which connects multiple events, going back to the origin of Black Sunday, which will be in its 6th year. It also was born in 2020, in Marty's vision for Black Sunday, which was based around the anniversary of Michael Brown's killing some 11 years ago. But of course, August the 9th is also the anniversary of the bombing of Nagasaki. So together, Marty and her team and the local mayors, Ferguson and St. Louis, and Gary Malkin's been in this conversation as well. His project, Unity and Community, which is coming up on the 100th day in Calgary. But there's something brewing in St. Louis, which could be a Fields of Healing, Marty K. Casey, and a global gateway to forgiveness and peace. Tell us, Marty, what's unfolding?
Of all, hello to everyone. I am so very excited about what's unfolding, and I believe that this is a testament of when we come together, when we gather, when we bring our uniqueness, and when we bring our talents and time, we can build anything that is necessary to help all people. And so I am grateful for this opportunity, because Ben, just the thought that St. Louis could be the grounds where we all meet, coming from all over the world. We're putting out a call to action for all leaders from all over. If there is a place for you to be, please come in the second Sunday in August, which happens to be August the 9th, in commemoration of Black Sunday. But Black Sunday is partnering with all of these other local, national, and global initiatives, so that we can make this the grounds of the fields of healing in St. Louis. Wow, I'm so excited, because Pookie Lee, of course, will be here. And also Karen Hoffmann, who is a good friend of mine here in St. Louis. But what I really love, what I want to really share, is that we reached out in our last meeting to the mayor of Ferguson, and she is the first Black female mayor of Ferguson. We also have our first Black female mayor in St. Louis, who I'm not sure, it is our hope that she will still be mayor in August, but that election is coming up in about a couple of weeks. But the mayor in Ferguson, when we called her to say, will you partner with us to do this? Not only did she say yes, but she's bringing, I'm going to see if I can find this real quick, Ben, so I can call out some of the people that she is already bringing to the forefront. It's going to be the city manager, the city clerk, uh, her assistant, and the fire department, and the chief of police. They all have given their yes. And that is so huge. I see Dot Maver right now. And Dot, if anybody knows, if anybody knows how huge this is for Ungun Institute, for St. Louis, it truly is Dot Maver, who I had been in talks with years ago, and one of the first people to understand what my vision was. And Dot is like a mentor of mine, who just said, Marty, hey, you go forth, and you go forth with the spirit of John Lewis. And that's every time I think about what it is I need to do, I think about Dot's words, and I think about the time that I had an opportunity to have Congressman John Lewis, who believed in getting in good trouble. And so that's what we aim to do, Ben Bowler, on August 9th of 2025. Come and get in some good trouble with us, so that we can really bring about healing beyond anything we can imagine. We need it now more than ever. And I just say, from the bottom of my heart to the top of my head and the soles of my feet, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to be a part of such a amazing community such as this.
Beautiful, Marty. Thank you. I think you've seeded the vision here in the community. That weekend, 9th, 10th of August, is going to be amazing in St. Louis, and I know people are going to want to come from near and far. We'd love, Fumi, we'd love to reach out to Yuka and see if we can get her to come. I know it's going to be a busy time in Japan, but that's the vision, is to bring these different stories together. So thank you, Marty, for coming in and seeding that. It's an exciting, kind of invigorating idea of that St. Louis could host the Fields of Healing, bringing together all those different elements of Black Sunday and all the other components to it. And Marty, on the ground there, just activating the local mayors, the local, departments to really do something significant and global. So you look at it, you've got, Central Park coming up in June. You've got potentially this major event in St. Louis. You've got all across the calendar, the Holo Movement Wave is the end of May. This is a beat that rises and a fire that grows all the way, and it doesn't stop. Thank you, Angelica, for the inspiration. So we have now one of the great synergizers of our time, truly. The history books will record this man and his amazing works. Dr. Kurt Johnson has played a pivotal role in the emergence of Unity Earth, has been at the center of the web of the synody circles of the evolutionary leaders, and is a tireless proponent, linking and lifting and weaving nonstop for goodness, truth, and beauty. Kurt, it's so great to see you, and looking forward to your sharing, because I know there's a lot of things that are going to a higher order of magnitude that you're connected to, and want to hear about them. You should be able to unmute, or we can't hear you. Try again.
Yeah, okay.
There you are.
All right, so I did a count, and I'll tell you who the we is in a minute. We have 14 major events between now and November. And I'm going to highlight those simply by naming and telling you when. But what they have in common, what brings them together, is that they're all anchored in the evolutionary leaders community, because so many of the leaders across everyone who's here happen to also be members of the evolutionary leaders community. And they're also anchored by their common thematic. And those common thematics are exactly what's been portrayed in this whole meeting today, and in this truth, beauty, and goodness. So now, across the 29 collaboratories and synergy circles of the evolutionary leaders, we have this media collaboratory. And the job of the media collaboratory, depending on what team you are, we meet between 2 and 3 times a week, is to figure out how we cross-point and coordinate and make the biggest impact possible from this incredible array of energy and events that we have coming forward in 2025. And I think some of you have already received invitations to events that say at the top, this is given to you through the auspices of the EL's Media Collaboratory and Circles, because we've created those lists so that we'll have a way to share, clear out through, I think there's 500 leaders in this whole group, and share those events out through all of their constituencies. I know I got 2 of them this week, so I know that that's happening already. And of course, we'll be providing that list, to the people for World Unity Week as well. Last thing I want to say before I just go through what these events are is that another thing that's an anniversary this year is that Light on Light will be publishing a 2-volume work on the history of interspirituality, the relationship of all the world's spiritual traditions, on the 25th anniversary of the naming of that paradigm in Brother Wayne Teasdale's book, which was subtitled Discovering the Universal Spirituality in the World's Religions. And it's also the 10th anniversary of my book, Becoming Interspiritual Age, which is worth mentioning because that's how I met Ben. Ben read that book, got in touch with me. We met in Atlanta, and then so many things happened after that. So here's where we're going. We start at the end of April with the Evolutionary Leaders Advance in El Capitan near Santa Barbara. We move right on then into Santa Barbara for the Illuminate Film Festival, which is the largest conscious film festival in the world. We move right from the Illuminate Film Festival to the Hollow Movement Wave in Asheville in June. And then we actually move in May. And then as we move into June, suddenly we're into Yoga Day. A lot of us are on the committee for Yoga Day at the UN. And we're there then for World Unity Week, which we've been talking about in this whole assembly, and also for the global powwow that John and Harry and Chief Dwayne were just talking about, and the whole vision of Solstice Unites. Suddenly they were into the summer, and we're into August with the events that Marty mentioned with Black Sunday and all that she's celebrating in St. Louis. And then suddenly we're into September, and Peace Week is upon us, and all the events of Peace Week, beginning with the 11 days of global unity, and then into all the celebrations of Peace Week. This year we'll be adding to that actually a virtual program from the Roma Sisi Conference on Spirituality and Sustainability, and the Pope's message of Laudato Si. We move right on then to the One Planet Peace Forum on the 26th of September, and Gary Malkin's big event in Calgary on community on also on or about that same date. Suddenly then we're into October and Global Oneness Day, and the Global Oneness Summit, with so many of us, I think there were 50 evolutionary leaders that provided programming for that last year. And then on the 29th of October, we have a summit on violence that's being done by Rian Eisler and her whole international set of colleagues. So we have an incredible array of energy that's coming out of everyone who's here. And the thing that the Media Collaboratory is working for is how we get the maximum impact out of all of that messaging. So the last thing I'm going to say is that also we're going to be launching very soon, hopefully in April, a community-wide Instagram account which joins all of our thematics together. And this is being put together by the Media Collab. I just want to mention Roger Briggs, Amanda Sanders, Scott Katamas, John Raymer, Rick Ulfett, Anne-Marie Vorhood, Victoria Friedman, who are part of that. And the hope is to create a really high-end Instagram presence in which all of the thematics from across this whole community that we're looking at here on the screen can bring their thematics together and start pushing this messaging out to the world beyond the choir. This is where we're trying to get. How do we get to beyond the choir? So that is really it. The last thing I'm going to say, as John Raymer would say, we're a fleet of magic canoes. I'm just waving from one canoe, and I hope everyone else from across all the canoes that are on this broadcast that we can be a fleet that can actually have an incredible impact as we move into this year. So thanks to everybody for everything that you're bringing to all of this.
Right on. Thank you, Dr. Kurt Johnson. My goodness, if we weren't excited before, we're excited now. Just feeling like the flow of energy and initiatives and platforms and events and the new order of collaboration that's truly coming. I mean, it's something that's taken time as we practice flexing that synergistic muscles and collaborative capacities. But we're ready now, I think, to go to a whole new order of operations, showing up on the world stage from Central Park to the St. Louis Archway and so many other places around the world. Now is the time for us to show up and to go to the next level. It's truly exciting. It's humbling, and it's thrilling. Thank you, Dr. Johnson, for that. Friends, this has been amazing. We're going to go now, transition in a moment into the engagement session. So thank you so much. Thank you to our speakers so far. To kick us off into the next session is going to be none other than Patricia Ann Davis, the incredible wisdom keeper and Indigenous knowledge holder. But I want to encourage everybody and urge everybody, stick with us for the next 45 to 50 minutes. The team, John, Cara, Becky, Irina, we've got a really beautiful program of engagement, of dreaming into what World Unity Week is going to look like in 2025, of hearing about your visions for the missions and the 99 days, of hearing what you want to contribute to truth, beauty, and goodness. So do stay with us. It's been a rich experience so far, and it's going to now become very interactive. But Patricia Ann Davis, thank you so much for being with us, for your presence, for your wisdom and your guiding light. As has been mentioned, it was John referencing your constant use of beauty, truth, goodness that has really sparked this whole theme that we're carrying as a collective for all the way up to World Unity Week, through the 99 days and across the whole year. So thank you, and so honored to have you with us, Patricia Ann Davis.
Looks like we're all levitating.
You know, if you find your nature, your purpose of being in this world, you can't do anything else. Everything else you do is just to go back to do the thing that you were born to do.
Purpose Earth made it happen. So we are in a country with challenges.
There we go. Thank you.
I think that's what I'm feeling, and that's what I'm observing, that we're all levitating with joy, with Kristin and Summer in the dance of joy. And so can I reframe your word, Ben Bowler, from kick off to a new English word that I learned? It's I think it's pronounced like segue.
Segue is good.
Thank you. Our greeting, of course, is Ya'ateh, and that is saying everything that is good, beautiful, and true is all I speak. What the sun is to nature, love is to the human heart.